What's up YouTube? It's your boy Rashawn Bowen White, RB Dubs, back at it again with another video. Today's video is gonna be a little different from my previous videos. Today's discussion is gonna be a little different, so stay tuned. Hope you guys enjoy it. So today we will be talking about something a bit different, from my previous Let's Talk discussions. Today we will be talking about the state of social media. So I was at a discussion today at my school that talked about how we interact with technology today, and if it affects us in a good or bad way, or if it how it affects us, basically. And this is a topic that's very interesting, and you hear a lot of people talk about. So this is something I wanted to touch upon. And basically, if we talk about the state of social media today, is it a good or bad thing? Does it affect people in a negative way? Yes. Does it affect people in a positive way? It is also a yes. Basically, if we talk about whether it affects people in a good or bad way, those are both a yes, and that basically puts the internet and technology in the middle ground, meaning that it's neither one thing or the other, that it's both good. There are good aspects about it and there are bad aspects about it. Basically, in my opinion, it depends on how you use it. It depends on how one uses the internet. It depends on how one uses social media. How does one interact with that type of technology? And depending on that is whether you can interpret it as good or bad. Because you can think of instances where one has interacted with social media and it has been a bad thing, and you can think of instances where one has interacted with social media and it has been a good thing. Like what I do YouTube. I'm a YouTuber. That is not a bad thing. I have discussions about different topics every week. That is not a bad thing. That is an instance where I am interacting with social media in a positive way. And an instance where you might interact with social media in a negative way is if you were to go on, let's say, Facebook and post something bad about a person, and then everyone comments about it, and then everyone knows about it, or you comment a secret about a person on social media. That is an example of using the internet in a bad way. That would show that social media is bad based on what that person did or that instance. But that doesn't make social media bad as a whole. That doesn't make the internet bad as a whole. It makes the person who used it bad. So it depends on how you use it, what you use it for, your purpose of interacting with it. And like I said earlier, I just think that this is an interesting topic and something that's really cool and neat to talk about, which is why I went to the discussion I had today. Because me personally, when it comes to like phones, I didn't have a phone until I got to college. I lived in a household where technology was in my household, but I didn't want it to be like a distraction, or it was like limited to the point where it wasn't a distraction on schoolwork and things of that nature. So like it didn't impede on me getting good grades, or on my good grades, on my work, and other things that were more important. So I didn't get my first smartphone until I graduated high school and got into college. So, and then I know there are also kids who have always grown up having a smartphone, and I know especially nowadays you see 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, all the way up to 10-year-olds already having a smartphone. And you see them when they have it, they're interacting with it a lot, and they can be using it at very long periods of time. So like I said, it's basically how you use it, and it's basically how you interact with it. Did it make a difference for me, not getting a phone until I got to college. It definitely taught me, that yes, social media can be a distraction, but it definitely taught me how to use it in moderation. It definitely taught me a valuable lesson in terms of how it does affect people, and it definitely showed me how it could take an effect on one's life. And do I regret, not regret, but yeah, do I regret having a smartphone now, or do I regret being a part of many social media platforms now? No, not exactly. Like when I was growing up, and I didn't have my first smartphone, yeah, it may have been frustrating, but it was definitely understandable. That it was understandable why I didn't have one. It was understandable why the reason was that, not to distract me from schoolwork, which was most important. And I can also say that, to be honest, there are definitely times where I find myself getting distracted by social media, and getting distracted from schoolwork and things of that nature. But not having it in the beginning definitely made me more aware of that, and definitely made me be able to develop ways to drift away from that, and to be able to, use it in moderation and use it in a proper way. And I think it's important that people know about how to use social media in a proper way. And if we were talking about specifically the state of social media now, the state is that it's used in a good and in a bad way. It's definitely good in that it passes on information in the least amount of time. You can get information to a large amount of people in the least amount of time. I think that's one of the biggest benefits of the internet and of social media at this day and age. And that's also, I believe, is the biggest downfall. The biggest benefit is also the biggest downfall of social media, is that, yes, large amounts of information can get to a large amount of people in a short period of time. That is a good thing, and that is also a bad thing. And that there can be a lot of bad information that's spread around, a lot of fake information that's spread around, a lot of information that's just not true about someone or something that could be spread around to large amounts of people in a short period of time. And people believe that, and another interesting thing that's definitely happened with social media today is that social media and the internet in general, is that it has basically become its own authority figure, and that a lot of people, believe what they see on the internet just because it comes from the internet. I know there's definitely a lot of people who, believe something is true just because they've seen it on the internet. And it definitely takes some learning to realize that not everything on the internet is true, and it also takes, a little bit of learning to distinguish between what is true and what is not, especially on the internet, due to the fact that the internet has become this big, authority figure, and it's become something that everyone is relying on for their source of information, for their source of knowing about what's going on in the world. And I just think that's very important. So the state of social media now is not a good one, nor is it a bad one, because there are good things about it and there are bad things about it. It's sort of in the middle, and that's I just wanted to talk about. I just thought it was interesting because I was at that discussion earlier today, and there were a lot of great points brought up at discussion about technology and social media and and the internet and how we interact with it. And I believe that if you use it in the right way, it can be very beneficial. If you use it in the wrong way, it can be detrimental. So my takeaway point is, it's not good. It's not good or bad. It doesn't stray to one side more than the other. It's sort of in the middle, and which side it falls on depends on you, depends on how you use it, how you interact with it. And just thought it was an interesting topic, and that's basically all I have to say about it. If you guys have any thoughts about the state of social media and the internet and technology in our day, in this present day, please leave a comment down below, and let me know what you think. Let me know how you interact with technology, how you interact with social media, and has it benefited you? Has it been detrimental to you? Has it been both? And let me know what you guys think. And this is your boy Rashawn Bowman White, RB Dubs. I will see you guys in the next video. I'm out here. Peace.